Hello and welcome to Mzansi.
A reality YouTube channel.
Yeah, Emil.
Thank you guys for joining us for yet another review. We are at the finale, the end of season 1 of the Senzo Meyiwa case documentary that is currently on Netflix. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of content, and also like the video.
Okay.
And disclaimer, this is not for any malicious intent. We are not doing this to say that we can solve the case. We are just like you, ordinary citizens, and we want to study the case and want to delve more into it as ordinary people. We are not saying that whoever did it. No, that's not the intention of this review.
Yeah.
Yeah, the documentary starts off with the 5 suspects that are currently on trial. And from the 6th of October 2020, the police reported that they had a breakthrough and they have found 5 suspects of what happened at Fort Soloras on that fateful day. And as well, Mziligazi is saying that he didn't expect the police to find 5 suspects. He was expecting 1 or 2, not 5. I think all of us were really blown away by the 5 suspects. Gerinel, on the other hand, says that he believes that the police have the right suspects.
Yeah.
He also says that he studied the docket. He studied the docket and he believes that the people inside the house did not do it and did not conspire to hide anything. That's what Gerinel believes.
This is, it must be said, because remember when we started with 2 documents.
2 dockets.
2 dockets. Yeah. So now we have only 1 docket that is the gospel truth of everything that happened there. And this is the document of someone who came later in the case. So the document of docket of Joyce is no longer in. I would say not in consideration that much. They might have taken certain things from it, but I don't think it is now taking a primary role or even any role at all.
And remember, from the previous episode, we were told that Joyce Matebula's team was on this case from day 1.
Meaning that those people, they have more information than the people who are coming in later to make this arrest that is happening now. Right? So this is where I have a problem.
Okay.
Because first and foremost, why is Joyce no longer in this case?
Why?
It's question number 1.
Why?
She was coming along with this case. She kind of had the background of this case, emotions involved, everything, invested her time on this, and all of a sudden there comes this Ginindi, who's now
is the
a go-to guy.
Second investigation team.
He's now a go-to guy.
And AfriForum only worked with him, and they said they were open to work with him because he was the one who was willing or more welcoming.
This is where the problem is. This is where the problem is. And to actually watch Nell explaining how they believe now the change of the story, they believe it. It worried me.
I'm also worried.
It sort of reminded me when I was watching those old stories about post 1994. Yes, it sort of, as long as we get someone to convict, yes, that's correct. That is what I saw. Nell, basically, for me, he's only concerned about getting someone arrested.
And that's like,
so
do you even care whether they did it or not?
No, that to me doesn't show that. Okay, we want to know how, because if you listen to, as we go through these people, you will hear that somewhere somehow there is this breaking point where there is no cohesion of the story. Do you understand? To start with, there is this Sipongwenya, who's an NPA spokesperson.
Yes.
Who says that is relying on Muzi's confession. Muzi is the one who was arrested in Tembisa.
Yes.
And then if you listen to what Muzi is saying that at some point he thought he was actually dying.
Because they were physical with him.
Yes. So he ended up having to say something that would save his life.
That is the police, allegedly.
Yes, that is what we had. So to come here and sit in front of us and skip everything that happened before that confession is disturbing. Very disturbing. So can you take us through this character of Moses B? The first
The
suspect.
first one. They arrested him in Tembisa at a car wash, and he pointed out accused number 2.
Which is a homeboy.
Now, accused number 2, his name is Bongani Ntanzi. He, on the other hand, was arrested in Rustenburg at a mine where he was working. And they say that he made a confession before the magistrate.
There you go.
Allegedly, he snitched.
Okay. So, that is now Ntanzi. Yes, that is not Muzi, the first one.
That's not the first one.
It is
It's
Ntanzi.
the second one. And they also say that he confessed that the hit was conducted at the Voslorus hostel. So they were in a room in the Voslorus hostel, and that is where they planned this whole thing. And it says that they stated out with a car outside of Kelly Kumalo's home, and then 3 of them got out of the car and waited or sat at the danger box that was nearby Kelly Kumalo's home. And they say that they entered the house. One of them entered the house and asked for a cell phone. Bongani is saying that he and one.
Yeah, so it's two of them. So
them.
there's one who's basically left in the yard or somewhere.
Who's left there outside.
And I want you to hold into that,
Yeah.
because it comes in handy to actually understand. If as you are analyzing it yourself, and it will help you, because first of all, I want to talk about Moses. We are told that they got a tip off of Moses at Tembisa. So who tipped them off?
We don't know.
We don't know that.
We are not told.
Because if you tip someone off, it's a case that is known, that one. So if I say, guys, there is Emily this side, it must be that this is a case that has a breakthrough. It is just only missing an arrest. Do you understand? So they were tipped off to get the first suspect.
Who tipped them off to that first suspect?
And you know my worry is? My
What?
worry is this suspect is not the one that had a gun. And we'll take you through this whole process of who had a gun and how did they actually see that this is the gun that was used to murder Senzo.
Okay, he says that they entered. That's Bongani's accused number 2. We are still on him. He's the one telling the magistrate this story, allegedly. And he's saying that they entered the house and asked for cell phones and money. And when he entered, Senzo Meyiwa threw a chair at him and he shot. So they fled the scene and they got into the car that was waiting, the getaway car that was waiting.
Just there, he threw a chair on them. This is, according to this documentary, this is after long, where the first hero fought the 2 guys and won against these guys and managed to escape the scene. There is a guy standing outside because there were 3 and still past that guy there might be a car in the gate waiting to take off. And still past those guys.
Yes.
And with no harm, right? Okay. This is where I have a problem.
Wait.
Because 3 of these people, they are what we call professional nkabis.
Professionals.
Yes, they have done this multiple times. They don't miss. They don't leave. They don't leave someone to tell.
Witnesses.
Yes, they don't do that. They have done it in big occasions. We're talking about tax owners. We're talking about all. How did they miss this one person?
All three of them.
who fought them, and only take a shot on one person who threw a chair on them.
There's also another incident of the pushing the door.
It's gone.
Uzandi bega push. Okay, I was pushing the door. The pushing. What happened to the pushing?
It's no longer
Why
there.
aren't the suspects talking about that whole tussle that was
It's no
happening?
longer there this time. It's gone. It's no longer pushing. There's no pushing. Now we're
just
talking about how...
shot and they got away.
Yes. They took Kelly's phone and ran.
They don't even mention.
They didn't mention it.
What I heard, there was no mention of taking any phone, which worries me.
Yes. This is where now the issue of the first person who investigated this is important, because allegedly, he wanted to get hold of these phones.
Yes.
Now, it's all gone, thrown out of the window, or I don't know, it's not evidence enough or something like that. It's all gone.
Now, it's further said that they drove to the hostel and went to the same room where they planned this whole thing, and then went their separate ways and waited to get paid.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, I have had the luxury of watching some of these guys. There are documentaries here on YouTube where people are talking how they do the job of being in Gab. After the whole incident, after you've done the whole thing, then you must be paid right away. You call the person, then they pay you. This is what I know.
Well, it is also said that the employer of Ubongani corroborates that during that time, yes, he knocked off from work earlier than usual and was absent for a couple of days. And the employer allegedly confirmed all of this, according to Mzilegazi. And they were also backed up by two witnesses. Witness number 1, Sipiwe Ngwenya. Witness number 2, Tabang Makelani. Are the
Yes.
witnesses that say they saw this car and these people
Now, guess
outside.
what? Guess what?
Yes.
They are all
What?
gone. Mysteriously, they just passed away.
They mysteriously ended.
Yeah, so they are no longer existing in this world. So we cannot rely on their evidence. That's it. Whatever they said there remains the gospel truth, and it shall stand like that. If it's used in the court of law, that's it. Those are their last words that they would say to the court through whatever that is written there, and it shall never change.
And then they continue to say that Bongani Ntanzi pointed out accused number 3. Accused number 3's name is Carlos Ngube. He was found, was it January 2020? Is it 2021? Yeah, 2021. They say that he's linked to the taxi industry.
Yeah.
He's a professional Nkabi. And he's a part of the people that do this professional.
These are not those are not chancers. These are people who have done this, according to what we heard, several times.
They say he committed another case and then was arrested 3 months after the Senzo Meyiwa incident. Then he was sentenced to 30 years in jail.
Now, this is where I'm shocked. The guy that Emily was said to have had this gun that matches Senzo was already arrested for some other cases, meaning, and I remain if need be, correct me, but if I heard correctly, they said this person used the same gun, but
For the crime he was convicted
yes,
for.
but now they didn't pick it up at that time, right?
They ran a ballistic after he was pointed out. They ran a ballistic and they found that he had committed the same incident in Alex.
And it sort of aligned to.
It pointed out to the same gun. Now, my other question is, we remember Sbia on the very first episode, he said there was no bullet cartridge.
We are going to have to go out a bit and rely on what the evidence that has been given in court and said in a sense by the guy. They did find a bullet according to them. And this is a bullet that was being questioned about. So I'm not going to go out a bit on that case, but I will just stand there to say that there is a bullet that was found. Probably they couldn't find it Osbia. Let us accept that.
Okay.
Because my worry is where you rushed me there on that side of someone using a gun, and they run a gun, and they don't say that they don't run a gun to check what other cases has this gun committed, where is it implicated, because isn't that a normal procedure if you find illegal guns?
Yeah. As soon as
why
you
do you
find
need to
the weapon,
after the whole process?
Immediately after the person is found, I would assume, I don't know, I've never been in the police, but I would assume that as soon as you find that weapon, you want to run a ballistic through it, because maybe there are other cases that you have that are turning cold, and maybe you could match, you could match. Because, isn't it procedure to run them?
This is where it worries me now. Now, after the guy from Tembis, after they picked that guy, and then the whole pointing out of who was there, and then all of a sudden now they have to go run this gun and match it to sense. Isn't that kind of, it looks more something that is more staged? And I would say allegedly,
because we're
and
not
I would
sure.
say this is my opinion, because I expect you to, as someone who knows how to do these things, to actually do it in a correct way. As someone is getting arrested, you basically are sitting with a gun that could have killed many people.
Now says he doesn't work with eyewitnesses, he works with circumstantial evidence. And according to him, the circumstantial evidence that he's seeing is what he's accepting. Mziligazi, on the other hand, says that they are saying, or the witness said that Carlos was wearing the same clothes that he was wearing when he committed the incident against Senzo, including the hat.
Wow, what a coincidence. Look,
he had dreadlocks.
Now let us take you through this. You wake up in the morning, you know that you are going to commit a crime. You wear those clothes that you're going to be wearing when you commit crime.
And you are a professional.
And we are talking about someone who has done this several times, right? And you take a picture with your head. You take a picture and you put it on your pocket. And this whole thing, accidentally the police will eventually find it to actually match you and put you on the scene. Wow.
He had dreadlocks, and shortly after he was arrested, he cut them off.
Wow.
Then accused number 4, Mthokoziseni Mapisa. Mthokoziseni Mapisa.
Yeah.
Now he's also in jail for ending a taxi boss in broad daylight. Now, Sfiso comes in, Sfiso Meyiwa, saying that when he saw those men, he felt sorry for them. And at some point, he thought that they would be deleted and ended in prison, because some people were thinking that they are guilty, and they've always said, there are people who are in prison who have always said, you know what, should the people that committed this incident come here, we are going to deal with them. So the sister of Mthokozisi posted on Facebook and told her side of the story and her brother's side of the story, saying that her brother had nothing to do with this. He doesn't know what is happening.
They are being ambushed. My worry with this whole thing is there's a lot of loopholes for this big case. This is a big case, and it's been years. and still you can literally point the loopholes. You can literally go and defend these guys and win the case for them, like Defo is doing now. Because the way, the manner in which everything was done. It was hush-hush. It was hush-hush.
Now, what's also interesting, Kantans, is that when he was in court, he was asking, he was taken to court. He didn't know why he was in court. That's shocking.
And the funny thing is that the other guy, I forgot his name, the one who's got hair, like...
Isn't it Muzi?
Muzi, I would assume. He says he doesn't know the other guy who's implicating them. He doesn't know them. He admits to know all these other ones.
Yes.
They've worked maybe.
But the one who confessed.
The one who confessed, who eventually come and say, I was promised 3 million. Now the question is, who promised you 3 million?
And he continues to say that they want scapegoats so that they can close the case. That's what he said.
Yes. Isn't that a coincidence?
Now, the weird thing about it is that for professionals, they only ended one life and they didn't take.
They didn't do a job done. You know, normally when I've been in a situation where I have, while I was working in a rank there, been in that scene where they end someone.
You've witnessed.
I've witnessed that. But as you do that,
yes,
those people, Emily, they don't play around. I won't lie to you. Those people, they end you. They are like, it's KO. They literally touch your thingy. To see that are you still
your body,
winking or anything. They touch
your eyes.
Yes. They end you. They don't, it's not a game. And then right away they take a phone and call. It's done. Now, if you're talking about those people and that's what they are doing, I'm talking about the taxi issue. This is now the taxi issue. They don't leave you. They don't leave a wounded gazelle. They finish you up. That's why most of the time these people will find that it's 6, 7 bullets, 8 bullets, because they don't want to waste. The only time it's less bullets is if they know it was a close range and it was a head, straight direct to the head. That's the only. But if we are far, they are just shooting. They don't just shoot you once. They don't leave you breathing. No. They take a call and call, hey, the job is done after they've seen.
They are certain.
And if that is the case, there is someone who's just observing for you. That person is the one who calls you and say, hey, it's done.
Now, accused number 4. Is it number 4? They arrested him, and he says that when they arrested him, they literally became physical with him, the police.
Yeah.
Until he agreed. And he said he wanted to see his parents, and then we are introduced to his father. His father and his wife over at Nongoma in KZN.
Yeah.
And they don't believe it either. They believe.
They are not going to believe it. In any case, it's. I'm not going to say by them not believing, and then it shouldn't be that the guy did it, because it's with KZN guys. It's normally something that they do far away from home, and
wouldn't know.
You would stand and say, this one would never do that. I would not rely on that. But my problem is that the 2 witnesses that saw this guy sitting on the what you call danger box. They saw them also going out running now, right? That's what is said on the document.
The witnesses.
And listen where they ran now. This is where the story is like kind of aligning. They ran to the park, according to these guys, those 2 witnesses that unfortunately are no more to give us more of that. They ran to the park, and Isn't it long? I said, saw them running towards the park.
He did in one of the radio interviews.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We always say allegedly.
We must.
So the story is kind of aligning, but the problem is the people that are there were there to make the story even more interesting. 2 of them are gone.
Yep.
2 of them are gone. Because now it's a contradiction of statements. The other one is saying that I didn't see anyone going in and going out. Most actually people who were around that area, they said they didn't see anyone going in and going out. And then only 2 of these guys saw it. And then they happened to be called around the same time. Then they are gone.
And the father of Muzi, uMandla Sibiya, uthi, he told him that they even said that he will be rewarded 100,000.
Yes.
If he takes this.
He did say that. And those are things that they would need to be looked at. The problem I have with this is, who are these people? These mysterious people who go around and say, I will give you 3 million, take this fall. Why can't we find these people?
I don't know.
That's my problem.
Then there's Fiso Sibiya, the first one. Now he is a professional, okay? He's been linked to the deleting of counselors. So they're saying he's a professional, so much so that he was even denying that he had used the number of bullets that he had used in front of the judge. Now, also another interesting thing is that Herinel is insisting that these people are the ones.
It worries me.
It's troubling.
To have. I'm not saying that they are not the ones, but it just worries me.
It's the evidence. You think with a lawyer, they work with the evidence.
Yeah.
They work with linking the evidence. Has he questioned the suspect?
I think the problem with Hernel and why Fiso Meyiwa ended up changing him is that immediately when he started to work with Kinindi, he started now singing the same tune as Kinindi.
Yes.
Which is what the other group or group of Joyce are not kind of, you remember the beginning, they are not in line with what Kinindi is saying.
Episode 3.
Yes. So it worries me to have someone who really wanted to get at the real killer.
And after Senzo terminated his representation from Herinel, Zama Nomalanga Meyiwa, which is the sister and the cousin, came in and told Herinel that he can continue representing the Meyiwa family according to the instruction they were given by Irene Meyiwa, who is Senzo Meyiwa's mom.
I think this is where they almost messed up this case. They almost, because I would say they almost, because the interference of Defo is the only hope that now they have.
Remains.
Yeah. Because if it was in hell, this case would be closed. He believes it. He believes everything that he was told by the Kinindi. Yes, he believes it. So everything is just matching to him. Everything was gonna be closed. What we saw about these guys recently, we wouldn't be seeing it. Let us admit.
No.
It was gonna be done. According to the sister, a cousin, and the mother, the case was gonna be closed. The reason why this case is still standing, they must thank Fiso Meyiwa.
Yes, Fiso saw through the contradictions and the mess.
Fiso Meyiwa is the only reason this case is still standing.
And they are saying they're looking for the masterminds. They want to know that who are the masterminds behind this whole thing. They even pointed direction at Kelly and saying that there were one of the men that were accused said that they had met with Kelly in a mall, and then Kelly promised to pay 250K, and of course Kelly is denying this, and also the legal representation of Kelly Khumalo is pointing out at the fact that they want this to end so bad that they're even willing to pin this on her client.
I'm not gonna be more on what is happening with Kelly, but my worry is the build-up of this case. According to me, it was eventually gonna go straight to the door of Mondays. If it was not hurried, the build-up of the case, it was gonna go straight to the case of Mondays. And this is according to me, obviously. This is what opinion. This is my opinion, and this is what I'm observing. The mastermind eventually, because you look at how it was built. All of a sudden, even these guys now bringing up the issue of Kelly. I think it's out of anger because they are coerced. So now they are saying, okay, let us
it's not really.
Yeah, asbalaye, asbizela lo Kelly. That's basically my thinking, because you saw the other guy is very, very angry.
He is angry, and he's saying that if it were according to him, all of those people up in there would be gone. He's not impressed. He just wants to go and serve the sentence that he has in
of what he
doesn't want to be attending court, and he's irritated.
He is irritated. So all this, them pointing direct to Kelly, allegedly as a mastermind, it's out of anger.
It's out of anger.
Leave us alone type of a thing.
It is this case, guys. This case has really
taken
a toll on so many people.
When we reach the end, this case is inside the room, and it needs those people inside the room to now come and collaborate their statements. Because if they don't do that, then there is the solution is far from being reached.
We will see with the trial. Guys, right now the trial is currently on, and we will see at the end of it what comes out of it, because this is not looking good.
Right, great, guys. Remember, everything said here is alleged.
It's alleged, it's our opinion. We are not in any way close to the case. We don't know anything. We are working with the documentary.
That's it. Bye-bye.
Bye.